Hi everyone, welcome to Kay's Favorite Things. And today we're going to be making a cake, and it's a very special cake, mainly because my mother-in-law, who has passed on, gave me this cookbook. And as you can see, the front cover is gone, and I don't know where it went. But anyway, this is from 1977, and she gave this to me when we first got married in 1979 because she knew I needed a lot of help with my cooking. But anyway, as you can see, I've got spots and stains all over this cookbook, and I have used it a lot. So I am rewriting all my favorite recipes in my special little book here, and maybe one day we can have a cookbook. And I have renamed this cake because when my daughter-in-law first tried it, she wrote me a note, and this was a long time ago, but she renamed it Kay's best chocolate cake ever. So anyway, we're going to make this today, and we're going to show you how it's done. So come along with me. Okay, we're back. And I just want to show you the ingredients that we're going to put into this cake. First of all, we're going to use 1/3 of a cup of cocoa. And my preferred brand of cocoa is Hershey's. I've tried the other brands, and they don't compare to Hershey's. It's the best, so if I were you, I would use the Hershey's for sure. You need 1.5 cups of flour, and preferably sifted flour, 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs, and these eggs came from my sister. She has farm eggs, and so these are really good eggs. You need vanilla. This came from a friend. And you need a cup of pecans. And you can add however much coconut you want. If you want to, I'm just going to put 1/2 cup. You can add a little bit more if you want to. You need a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 sticks of butter. And we're going to mix all this up in my KitchenAid that my husband bought me a few years ago. And I have named her Bertha because she works really, really hard. So she is a workhorse. So anyway, come back and we're going to mix this up and put it in the oven. Okay, people, we are back, and we're going to add our butter first to our mixer here. And you really should let this sit out a little bit and get soft. It just works a whole lot better. Okay, I'm going to turn this on and let that cream a little bit. Get that going. And I'm going to slowly add my sugar to that. Okay. Now we're going to let that cream for just a little bit. And we're going to start adding our eggs one at a time. That's 1. 2. 3. And our last egg. There we go. And these eggs are so rich. The yolk is really yellow, and they are just wonderful eggs from my sister. Okay, we've got that creaming good. Let's go ahead and add our vanilla. I usually do a little bit more than 1 teaspoon just because I like vanilla, but you do what you want. Yeah, it smells so good. Okay, we're going to turn this down just a little bit because we're about to add our flour and we don't want it to go all over the kitchen. There's 1/2 cup. And there's a cup. Let me get the rest of that in there. Whoops. Oh, well. I got most of it in there. Okay, and here's a third of a cup of cocoa. We got that. Now I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. I'm kind of getting dusted. Oh, it smells really good, everyone. I'm going to add my nuts as soon as that gets mixed. Let me stop this. Okay, make sure you stop and push down everything so it can get well blended. And if you don't have one of these mixers, you can just use a hand mixer. It's kind of hard to do this by hand just because this is a very thick batter. It's almost like a brownie batter. Now turn that back on. Get that mixed up. Now I'm going to add a cup of nuts and a half a cup of coconut. Mix that good. And you're done. There you go. Let me show you that. Show you how good that looks. See that? Oh, it smells so good. It smells rich and chocolatey. So we're going to stop here, and we'll be back in just a minute, and we're going to put it in the pan. Okay, we're back, and we have got our cake pan all sprayed with Pam. I'm not putting any flour or anything like that into it, and we're going to put our batter in. Now, this is a thick batter. It's like a brownie batter almost. So it's kind of hard to get out of the pan. A lot of times I enlist my husband to help me do this. Just get it all in there. And I've got my oven preheating. It's preheating at 350, and we're going to cook this for 45 minutes. And you just press it in there. Some of that didn't get mixed up very well right there. Coconut. It'll be fine, though. Somebody will get a big bite of coconut. And spread it good. This smells so good. I think that y'all are going to really enjoy this recipe. I've made it many times throughout the years, and everybody just raves over this cake. Okay, we're going to stick it in the oven, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, our cake is done, and as you can see, I inserted a toothpick in, and it's clean, so that means it's done. Now, you want to put your marshmallow cream on while it is hot. Some people use marshmallows, but I have found if I use marshmallows, they get hard. This stays soft, so you really do want to use this, and this brand is great. And you're supposed to use a 13-ounce jar, but my store did not have the 13-ounce jar, so I got two. And these are 14 ounces. They're 7 ounces each. And what you do is you take it out and you dump it on the hot cake. Just get it all out of there. And really, probably one of these would probably be plenty. And see how it kind of melts? You just spread it all over the cake. And this smells wonderful. Our house smells so good right now. Now you have to let that sit just a little bit so it'll melt. You could spread it a lot easier after that. Let's get a little bit out of here. Let it start softening up also. I'm just partial to this brand. It just seems to be better. It just works a lot better. And you spread it all out everywhere. Let it get melted good. And the next step we're going to do is let this cool just a little bit, and we're going to make our frosting. So we'll be back in just a minute and let you see that part of it. Okay, as you can see, our marshmallow cream has melted on our cake, so we're going to go ahead and make our frosting. And we're going to use Bertha again for that. What you need to use is a stick of butter. Just put your butter in there and go ahead and start creaming that. And get that cream. And then you want to add your powdered sugar. I'm going to turn this off for just a second while I add it because it will fly everywhere. And I'm going to alternate. I'm going to add a little bit of powdered sugar, and I've got a small can of evaporated milk. It calls for 6 tablespoons, which is a small can. So go ahead and add a couple of tablespoons and turn it back on low. Trying to get that combined. Oops, I'm dropping it. Then turn it off and add some more. Let's just add it all. And add the rest of your evaporated milk. And add a teaspoon of vanilla. And mix well. Try not to blow it everywhere. Get your chocolate and add it. And while you're at it, go ahead and scrape down the sides. And we're going to add some more confectioner sugar in just a minute once we get all this mixed up well. Okay. Start it on low because it flies everywhere if you turn it on high. And get it going. Smells like chocolate in here. Okay, turn it off. Scrape the sides again. Add your coconut, cup of coconut, a cup of pecans, and mix it again. And the frosting is done. And that's how easy it is. Now, if it's a little bit thin, you can always go back and add a little bit more powdered sugar if you need to, but you want this to be a little bit thin because you've got to spread it on top of that marshmallow cream. So, okay, we'll be back in just a minute, and we'll put it on top of the cake. All right, we have our icing all finished, and as you can see, it's not real thick. You don't want it real thick because it's going to set up and get quite a bit firmer. You want it thin so you can spread it on this cake. And then you just go through and you dollop it. This is not an easy, this is not an easy cake to frost because it mixes in with the marshmallow cream. But you just dollop it on there. Just kind of lay it like that until you cover the whole cake. I'm going to try not to spill any more here. It's not a neat cake to make, let's put it that way. It's pretty messy, but it is quite good. And you just keep going until you get the whole cake covered. Let me put a little bit more on there. Okay. And you keep going until it's covered, and we'll be back in a minute and we'll show you how it looks once we get finished. Okay, as you can see, we've got our frosting on, and the marshmallow cream kind of bubbles up a little bit, and it looks really good. It's really hot right now, so what we're going to do is we're going to let it cool off a little bit, and then we're going to cut a piece, and we'll show you how it looks once it's cooled down just a little. Okay, it's time to cut this beautiful cake. Let's see how it goes here. I wish you were here so you could have a piece too. Now this frosting, I like to keep mine a little bit thin. If you want to add more powdered sugar to it, you can. Just remember that. And like I say, this is kind of like a brownie on the bottom. So let's cut a piece. It's still really hot, so look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. And it smells really good. And I've got chocolate all over my fingers. How does that look? Yummy. It smells really good. So I just want to thank you for watching, and I hope that you make this. And if you do, leave me a comment below and tell me how you liked it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.